I believe in fresh starts in a lot of cases, like specifically this video. I recently released a Sector's Edge video and am not satisfied with the audio, so I'm redoing it, deleting the other video and re-releasing this with better quality. Sector's Edge is a fast-paced shooter with the ability to build and destroy with a gadget on the fly. You can even pre-make structures at your base on your mystery ship here. When making your pre-mades, remember that you have 9 slots and think about each one's tactical use. It'll help you. And you definitely can add some flavor to your gameplay or have some goated strats. Or if you want to be a dick and block off walls and floors or make thick cubes that take time to destroy, you can do that too. Once you are done making structures and learning how building works, there is a weapon rack with a few guns you can test on the range. There isn't a huge selection, but it's small and varied. You can even take it a step further by customizing the scope and weapon skin. You get like a 2x or 1x sights, and your skins cost protons you get from playing. It'll take up some time to get used to how the weapons work and what combos work the best, but it's worth it. On top of weapons, you get a modification table where each selection costs 1 point. These kind of are like buffs and passives, but can definitely help you survive. And since you're at the range, though, when you get done with your buildings, give the range a shot. Learn the weapons and try switching primary to secondary and switching from gun to building. Get some practice in because some players and bots are fucking ruthless out there, and having some experience does affect gameplay. I personally like to bunker bust, so when someone is building, I try to kill them or follow them through their construction trail. It's quite effective. And side note before continuing, you can customize your character or buy models with protons and use the color slider to customize. With that said, let's go. Speaking of protons, they are the game's main currency when playing, so you can buy protons for $10 or even an XP boost for $5. They also feature 2 character packs, so you can look cool while also supporting development of the game. And it's not pay to win since leveling does not change your weapon access, nor does it buff the player, so we're good there. Now that we looked at other stuff, let's find a damn server to play. I feel bad because this game doesn't have the player base it deserves. It's a solid tight game with a neat workshop maps, but not enough players to experience a lot of community maps. Like right now, the best choice is to play with the bots, and that's not too bad. Their scale is varied, so you can't always go 20-5. You are more likely to go 15-9 or something close, but let's see here. So we see an issue here, and that's the floor is just gone. Due to all the rockets and grenades on top of bots shooting and building, it adds a cool dynamic to the world since it's completely destructible, but it sucks when you spawn in a new game, when you spawn in a game mid-play. If you play with creative enough people, you may be able to completely make a new map with your structures or just block building itself. I kind of want to see what a private lobby can do while killing each other. That'd be pretty cool. Might be something to keep in the bank, like memory, you know, something to do. It's hard for me to play this game sometimes when I spend hours in an MMO or in a milsim and then try to sink a half hour killing bots and like my aim being terrible. It gives me flashbacks to Quake Arena Instagib. I remember watching Championship Gaming Series on DirecTV and seeing a dude named Critical or something who was the best FPS player of all time or a champion in a few games. He won the Quake Arena 1v1 for a title, if I remember correctly. I miss watching shit like that. Like, I'll spend hours watching Counter-Strike Source matches. I wonder if we're going to get a shooter that has a competitive scene that isn't ruined by player reporting and banning icky fifis. You know, a game that has a spectator PTV that isn't Global Offensive or Siege. I think Siege has spectator camera stuff. I want something new that isn't gimped by Activision or becoming a hero shooter. Oh well. Maybe this game will grow. I would love to see build-off 1v1s in Sector's Edge. Like, graphically, it isn't a terrible game. It's average for a block game, and it's cool we got color sliders, but I like more customization, you know, if I'm going to make the game better. The shooting is responsive, and there is a learning curve, but players of all skill levels are on an even field. No pay to win. It's crazy. You know? I'm talking about competitive gaming, and those games that had a comp scene weren't, like, you know, they weren't pay to win. They maybe had skins or a modding community, but they didn't have a $10 weapon unlock or skins that granted buffs. And now I think about it, I should do a separate vid series covering PvP games with no pay to win and games that should be played more, you know? I'll include this as my first entry, I guess. See if I can use my structure successfully without having to destroy something to kill. That's a test. That would be a good test, because I built each structure with situations in mind to use them in. And so far, I have only had use for my stairs wall and my floor patch without having to modify it on the fly. Maybe I'd survive because I'm not terrible with aiming. Maybe that's also a factor why I keep dying in my structures. I seem to have skill in shooters where I improve faster than the average person, but the problem with that is that the game will start putting me with better players and I'd immediately start losing every match. So it's like a double-edged sword. Okay, so after a few deaths in a row, I had a thought. Does anybody else go on a killing spree when you die by some dumb reason, and then you just continue to die in a death streak? Because in most games, I'll do good, then do terrible to balance my KD out, it seems. It's that damn curse, and it doesn't even escape me, even in Sector's Edge. Like, either that or being in a map that can break AI if they happen to spawn in the wrong spot. That also seems to be a curse, especially in indie shooters and in Sector's Edge. Like, most of the issue I has is the low player population for this game specifically, and the lack of customizations outside of a color slider. Like, Sector's Edge is an alright game. I recommend it. I definitely recommend people to try it because it's free to play with no pay to win. Plus, the building gadget is fucking primo, dude. But I think this is going to conclude the Sector's Edge video remake, and I hope you like it. Hopefully it's better than the last one. And if you made it this far, click on one of those thumb buttons below. It doesn't negatively affect you, and it's a thoughtless action. But check me out next time. I'm going to delete that. Thank you, guys. See you next time. Check out my other videos. Thank you.